has to be happening. All right. So bring your feet together at the top of the mat. And right there in that moment, when you step up to the top of the mat, let that symbolically just mean like you are here and you are ready. Something happens to me when I roll the mat out and I'm like socializing, but then like when it's like time, it's like I step to that place and that's it for me. I am in. It's like Pavlov's dog's conditioning, you know? And so the texture of the mat under your feet, the act of stepping up to the top of the mat, just like knowing that you're ready for whatever is going to unfold. And sometimes it's what's expected, you know what your yoga is going to be like, but then there's always this element of the unexpected. And so I want you to just be open to that. Know that there'll be some things that are really familiar and it feels like coming home. And then there may be an awakening to something new. What a beautiful way to live our lives, right? To know that we have this sort of pattern, this ritual of every day, but then we're just open to the unexpected or to whatever may just happen. And if we do it from a place that's steady like this, where we're breathing and our feet are on the ground, I'm pretty sure we can handle just about anything. So take a deep breath, lift your heart a little higher. And then take another breath and reach your arms way up high to the sky. Feel that cool breeze on your skin. And then draw it right into your heart. Let the gesture be like it's good to be alive. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, draw it right into your heart. One more time, just like that. Simple movement, done with intention. We're going to add on. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Whoop. I will stay away from there. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold again, please, on the exhale. And then rise with a flat back. Head up and chest up. Push into your feet. Keep the belly in. And then exhale the hands right to the heart again. Good. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lifting and lengthening on the in-breath. Folding deeply on the out-breath. And then rising all the way to standing. Exhale the hand right to your heart. We've got one more just like that. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale and fold. Just getting in the rhythm of breath and movement. Lift and lengthen. Fold again, please. And then rise. Nice deep breath. Bring it right to your heart. We're going to add on. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lifting on the inhale. Step to plank, please. 2 hands down flat. Feet go back behind you, and we hold the upper push-up position. So both feet are at the back of the mat. We're in a plank pose. And I want you to feel yourself literally pushing the floor away from you. Just feel how activating a little bit of muscle really supports your work. Keep your knees lifted or intentionally put the knees on the mat, and then together we'll all lower down slowly. Take it onto the belly. Good. Point your toes back. We're going to inhale for Cobra, and I'm taking this first round slow. Please keep your hips on the ground and bend your elbows so your shoulders don't end up in your neck. I want you to feel your heart space open. I want you to move gently these first few movements. It's about breath and movement. It's not really about like scrunching or compressing. Our whole practice is about creating space, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Take one more breath, widen the chest, and then exhale, release and let it down. Tuck your toes and move into your first downward facing dog. Good. Inhale as you push back, and then exhale, return to plank. Good, just warming it up. Inhale, down dog, lift your hips. Exhale, come forward into plank. Just feel the sense of muscle integration. Nothing is sagging here. Keep the hips up, the legs long, strong, and lifted. All right, now either knees down or up, and lower yourself slowly onto the belly. Beautiful. Inhale for cobra, 1 breath. Exhale back to downward facing dog. If somebody else gave you their spine to care for, would you ever do what you just did to them? Think about it, right? Why do we treat ourselves differently than we would someone else? Why would we ever want to create more care for someone else than we would ever create for ourselves? Let's move mindfully today. Let's be sensitive. Let's feel our bodies and pay attention. We want these bodies to continue to be supple and useful. We don't want the body to be broken down. Take another breath. Push back. I want this body to last a long time, right? Exhale, look forward. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Fold deeply as you exhale. And then rise with a flat back, lifting your head and chest, reaching the arms up high overhead. And exhale, please, hands to heart. We're going to put that all together in one beautiful flow. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale, and then go to plank and lower on the same exhale. Bend your elbows. You can put the knees down or not. Inhaling into cobra, and then exhaling back into downward facing dog. We call that Surya Namaskar A. It's like a salutation to the sun, to the source of energy, to what all things revolve around, right? Do we sometimes forget? We just take it for granted. We get mad at it when it comes out from behind the clouds, right? Makes us too hot and sweaty in South Florida. Let us for a moment appreciate nature, appreciate something bigger than ourselves. Take one more breath here. Push back just a little bit. And then look forward. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Bring them together. Inhale, lift halfway. And then fold deeply. Rising up, inhale, flat back, all the way, reach to the sky. And then bring it right into your heart. Here you are standing at the top of your mat, ready for anything. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen. Now hold here, soften your knees, touch both hands down, and then step just the right leg back. I want you to stay on your right toes, but plant the right hand firmly into the mat and twist open to your left side. That's it. So we always want to make sure that we're taking care of the spine. We do flexion and extension. Now we're doing rotation, and then we're going to add a little bit of lateral movement. So we're going to make sure that we move it in all 6 directions before we start to really dive into the practice. Let's take one more breath here. Lift that right knee, but drop your left hip. Give me a little more twist from your waistline, and then release it. Put your left hand down and step right back to down dog. Lift your hips, push back a little, and then walk both hands to the back of the mat. Take a little walk toward your feet. When you get there, make sure your feet are hip distance apart, and then bend your knees 90 degrees. I want you to drop your hips as low as your knees, and then reach your arms back behind you. Now there's a funny thing that happens here. Some of us just rest our belly on our legs. That's smart. But you're not going to get the most benefit out of that. So let's see if we can pull the belly up a little bit off of the legs, and then drop the hips a touch more and lift your chest a little higher, a little longer. Heart reaching forward. Beautiful. Now lift your arms higher than your body and feel your upper back contract. Feel your chest broaden. Make a really big inhale here, and then exhale, clasp your hands together and fold. Just getting a little more juicy, that's all. We need a little bit of heat before we start really digging into the more complex work. So we want to make sure that the shoulder blades are still drawing a little bit toward each other. So you want to feel some work in the upper back, and this is important. This is like combating our bad posture. working against the devices, right? All of the hunching and slumping that we do mindlessly when our mind is focused on other things. Take one more breath here. And then simply release your hands, bend your knees a little. We're gonna tuck the tailbone and the chin and come up one vertebra at a time. And I really want you to feel the belly supporting that action. Press into your feet and then stand up a little taller. Nice. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Nicely done. Walk it out into plank pose. I'm gonna take a little volume on the music. Can you do that, volume? All right. When Bono's singing, we should hear it, you know? Yeah. Keep those knees lifted, keep the tailbone drawn in. Now hold your plank for a moment. Feel those hands pushing into the earth, but lift your right toes. See if you can lift your leg and keep that leg active. Yep, you got it. And then put it down and try the left side. I only ask you because I know you can. It's something simple, but it's not easy. Put your left toes down and then lower slowly. Knees down or just all the way down onto the belly. Inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. Nicely done. One breath. As you exhale, start walking your feet up to the top of the mat. Bring your feet together at that starting place, that home base. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good, and then inhale, rise all the way to standing. Reach the arms up high to the sky, and then bring it right into your heart. Every gesture matters. Inhale, both arms reach. I had a feeling that might happen today. Exhale, forward fold. Good, lift and lengthen just like before. Now soften the knees, touch your hands down so the left leg can go back. Take up some space on your mat. We're going to plant the left hand down and start twisting open to the right. Just take a moment to notice your own hips. Sometimes one hip is high, one hip is low, one is forward, one is back. See if you can figure out in your own body how to articulate the hips to be a little more even, a little more level. And then from there, squeeze a little on the muscles on the outer hips so you can really turn from your waistline. Think about that left shoulder turning in toward the right knee. Think about that shoulder turning in toward the right knee. Yep. Last breath. And then simply eyes down, hand down, step back to your down dog. Just skip all of the goodies in between and walk your hands back to your feet. Bending the knees 90 degrees again, sitting a little bit low. And this time reaching forward. Reach forward, biceps near the ears. So this one's a little more challenging if you just understand physics, right? We just made the lever way longer. So you got to use your core. And I want you to feel that push and that pull. So you're reaching back through your hips and reaching forward through your arms at the same time. No matter how much you pull back and forward, those feet stay grounded. Now give me a little lift in your pelvic floor. And then slowly start to lift your chest away from your knees. I know you don't want to, but you can. If your booty is sticking out, it's going to be hard to do. The lower back's going to crunch. So draw the tailbone down and then see if you can get your chest a little higher. That's it. Now push through your feet. Come on up. Beautifully done. Exhale, forward fold. All right. Inhale, look up, lengthen, and then walk it into plank so you can hold your mat down as the wind comes through. Yes. You have your feet wide, your hands wide, you're holding down the mat, taking a breath. All right, go ahead, lift your right leg. Now bend that right knee about 90 degrees and push your heel to the ceiling. You're still in plank. You're still in plank. Shoulders are right over the wrist. Yep, a little squeeze on that booty. Push the heel to the sky. You've got it. And then straighten the right leg. Put your toes down and lower. Inhale into cobra pose. Widen your chest. Exhale, release, downward facing dog. Okay. Let's all take a deep breath in. Just like one good clearing breath. Make a sound. Just like, whoa. Just release out any tension that's starting to build. I can feel you. Like you didn't like that plank thing so much, right? But we got to do the other side. So let's clear the slate and then come into plank. This time we lift the left foot. Plank is a beautiful place to develop strength. Bend that left knee, push your heel toward the ceiling. Some of you are pulsing. You can if you want to, but not necessary. Just one good drive, heel to the sky, and then straighten your left knee, put your toes down and lower. Inhale, cobra. Squeeze your hands toward each other so the chest broadens. And then exhale, down dog. All right, one last breath here. Just a good big inhale, and then open mouth, make a sound, clear it out. All right, look forward in your own way with some grace. Bring your feet right back to that home base, to that starting place. Lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees now. Chair pose. You knew we weren't going to get through today without one of those. All right, check in with the feet. Make sure you have your weight even in both feet, and you're not sitting too much in your toes, but you could sit back in your heels a little bit. And as you sit back into the heels, don't let the toes lift. You can feel that whole solid footprint right there in your favorite space at the top of the mat, and then push into them and come up. Good, let's stretch back this time. Keep lifting so you come out of the lower back, lift from your chest. That's it, take one more breath, and then exhale, hands right to heart center. All right, we have two more directions to take that spine. Inhale, arms reach. Hook your thumbs together and take it a little bit to the right. Now I want you to feel your thumbs pulling against each other so you have some action in the top of the pose, but at the same time you're anchoring down into both feet. All right, now pull the belly into the spine. Release the thumbs and stretch your right arm out parallel to the floor, right out by your side. Oh yeah. Strength and flexibility in the same moment, grounded and reaching at the same moment. Something familiar and something new. Take one more breath, and then rise back up to center. Hook your thumbs the other way, the weird way. It might not be weird for some of you because now I keep asking you to do it, right? Is anyone starting to get a little better with that one? Yeah. And then go ahead, take it over to the left side. Just imagine what's going on in your spine. Don't worry about the outer form. Start to really be in the experience in your body. Can you get a little taller? Reach like you mean it. And then release that left hand. Notice that there's now strength happening, not just stretch. We want a sense of integration in everything we do. We're looking to make space, but we're not wanting to compress, right? We're doing all of it at the same time. Go ahead, rise back up to the center and bring it home. Hands right to the heart center. All right, inhale, arms reach. We're gonna move. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Now go to plank and lower on the same exhalation. Lowering down. Inhale, cobra pose. A little bit of widening across the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, take one breath here. And then right foot's gonna step up to the right hand. Pretty much stay on the right side of the mat and rise for a high crescent lunge. Sometimes that's a little wobbly, so start building the base. Really find your feet on the ground, feel your legs drawing in toward the hips. You'll feel some sense of integration, and then you can fully express. You can reach up a little higher. And in this particular pose, I want you to see if you can find a way to get the left side of your body a little bit more forward. All right, one more inhale, and then release it. Flow it out. Hands go down, step back lightly, and lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, down dog, and into your high lunge on the other side. So the left foot steps to the left hand. You stay on your right toes. Build that foundation and then rise up with some grace. Rise with a sense of confidence that you know what's under you, and then you have the possibilities above you. It's all in everything that we do. We feel our feet on the ground. We open our hearts. And we just never know what's going to happen. Let's take one more breath in and then flow it out. Hands go down. Again, familiar. Step back and lower. Inhale into cobra and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So back to the first one. Right foot steps up, stay on your left toes, rise into the high crescent lunge. All of the possibilities, all of the familiarity. Hands come to the heart now. Now I want you to press into your palms gently and lean your body weight a little forward. You're going to lean into the right leg and float your left leg behind you. Let's just see what you got there. Find your balance. I'm going to challenge you a little bit. I want you to keep that left leg behind you active and start bending the right knee. Just come down a little lower and then come back up. Do it again. Down a little lower and then come up. Here's the third one, best one. Bend into that front knee and then touch your left toes back down. Inhale, the arms sweep. And then exhale, flow it out. Hands to the floor, step back and lower. That's it. Inhale for cobra. Be gentle with your spine, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's all take a nice deep breath in and a smooth breath out. And then come into the other side. Left foot steps to left hand, arms sweep up overhead. Create that foundation. I want you to feel the work that's happening in the right leg. That one's going to stay active the whole time. That's it. Now draw the hands right into your heart and use them. Pressing the palms gently together will keep the chest broad. And then you're going to slowly lean your weight into the left leg and float the right one up behind you. That's it. And you're going to find your balance here, and then we're just going to play. Don't take it too seriously. Left knee bends. Come down low. And then push yourself back up. You've got it. Here we go again. Bend that left knee. Come on down. And then press yourself back up. Third one, best one right here. Take it down low so you can step back onto your right toes and sweep your arms up. Inhale. See, no big deal. Exhale, flow it out. Good. Step back and lower. Inhale for cobra pose. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. All right. I really, really like what I see today. You guys are beautifully flowing and breathing. Let's take one more breath right here. And then just for fun, let's do one more high crescent. Right foot steps up. Stay on your left toes. Arms sweep right up over your head. All right, I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Bring your hands to your heart center. Lean your body weight forward, so you're leaning into the right leg and floating the left one behind you. That's it. Now, take your arms out a little bit back, right? So they're like your hands are lifting higher than your hips. Feel the upper back contract. Feel the chest lengthen forward. And then bend that left knee and push that left heel to the sky. So you feel that little lift in that left glute. Lift your chest, look a little forward. Awkward airplane, yeah? All right, take a breath. Now stand up and pull that left knee to belly. You've got this. Squeeze it in, it'll feel really good. And then here you go. Stretch that leg straight out in front of you and take your arms up overhead. Drive out through that heel. Make that leg in front of you straight. Know that the crease of your hip is where the strength is going to come from. So feel it right in the crease of that hip. Leg lifts just a bit higher. And then bring it right to home base. Feet down, hands at the heart. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. A little bit of sunshine. Lift and lengthen on the in-breath. And then go ahead, plank and lower. Come back to what's familiar. Wipe the slate clean, get in rhythm with your breathing. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Make sure you smooth out the rhythm of your breathing. This is always a great time for an attitude adjustment to remind yourself why you do your yoga. Take one more breath, push back just a little, and then left foot steps up, stay on your right toes. It's that high crescent lunge. One more time, coming up. So it's nice when something is familiar. We always seem to have better skills on the second side because it's familiar. And then bring the hands to the heart. Good. Leaning your weight a little forward, come into your balancing pose. Now extend your arms back behind you and lift them a little higher than your body. Feel the upper back contract. The back of your body is getting some strength work here. And then right knee bends, right heel to the sky. Push it up. Feel that little squeeze in the back of the glutes, right? And as that foot pushes to the sky, lift your chest, lift your gaze, lift your arms. Feel the back bend. And very slowly bring your right knee to your belly. Yep, squeeze it in. It'll feel really good to stretch that glute out. Give it a nice little squeeze. And then extend it forward. Push with everything you've got and extend your arms to the sky. I know that you can do this. I mean, it's literally lift your arms and lift your leg. We're not in a pretzel. We're not balancing on our pinky toe or anything. It's simple movements. It's just not easy. Find the strength in the crease of your right hip. Lift your leg a touch more, and then just put it down. Hands come right back to your heart. Good. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. Go to plank and lower on the exhalation. I like it. Inhale, cobra, the best cobra you know how to do, and then take it back into downward facing dog. All right. Right foot steps up, stay on your left toes. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's high crescent lunge. One more time. We're just using it as a transition. Turn open to your left for warrior two. Make sure you give yourself a good amount of space. The stance can be generous. Turning to the left side, right? The right foot went forward. All right, straighten your front leg and reach your biceps to your ears. Now, where can you create space here? I want you to just think about it. Maybe the tailbone can draw down just a little. Maybe I can turn my body a little bit more to the side. I'm going to face my chest out to the side, and I'm going to press into my feet as I reach up high to the sky. That's it. Now, bend the front knee and go back into warrior two. Look at your front hand. Even though you look at the front hand, you feel what's happening in the left hand. Make that left arm a little more fierce. Good. Straighten the front leg, arms reach. Do it again. Exhale, right back into warrior two. Inhale, arms reach, straighten the leg. Exhale, take it in a little deeper. Open that right knee a little wider. Last time, inhale, arms reach, get long through the side waist. Exhale into warrior two and hold. Then left arm drops, right arm rises, reverse the warrior. Nice long spine, extending the spine. And just like we did in our standing crescent, let's take that left arm and reach it out parallel to the floor behind you. You've got this. Open the chest. Take the gaze up. It makes all the difference in the world. One more breath, and then please return to warrior two. Straighten the front knee. We're going to go to triangle pose. Trikonasana, if you're new to the practice, both legs remain straight. We take the right arm down, and the left one reaches high to the sky. We have a tendency sometimes to bend forward in this pose, so I want you to try to open up and create some space. I don't care how deep you go. It doesn't matter. Your hand doesn't have to go to the floor. I love it resting on the shin so you can draw the tailbone down and the chest open even more. Breathe. Let's turn the left palm forward and reach it up over the head. Stretch, reach, enjoy your body. This is like such a magical pose. It's not a shape you would ever reach in the regular activities of your day. Right arm stays where it is, left arm comes up, and then rise back to warrior two. Take a breath, and then let's flow. Put our hands down on the mat, frame out the front foot, and then step back to plank and lower. Flowing and breathing. Inhale for cobra, and then belly in, push through your hands and go back to down dog. All right, take a moment here. This is like a great moment for you to just check in. And then, left foot steps up, stay on your right toes. Don't worry, it's only a transition. High crescent. And then we turn open to the right side for warrior two. Take a moment, and all of this pumping warrior is actually so you can test and make sure that your stance is right. Are your feet in the right place? Let's straighten the front leg and reach the arms up. Biceps are right next to the ears. And check in with yourself. Sometimes when we put the arms up, our ribs poke forward and our booty sticks out behind us. See if you can streamline that just a little bit. Maybe the tailbone draws down. The chest can turn a little bit more to the right. And then we're going to try to hold that in our bodies, right? And then come back into warrior two. Eyes go to the left hand, but you still feel what you're doing with your right hand. Go ahead, take it again. Inhale, arms reach, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Each time, maybe the left knee can open a touch wider. Do it again. Inhale, arms reach. Feel, explore, bend that front knee. I think we'll do one more and then we'll hold. Inhale, reach up. Make those little adjustments and then bring it down. The best form you've got. And then reverse the warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Nicely done. Make sure that front knee isn't turning in. Keep it turned out and wide. Yep. So good. Now, as you're bending down into the front knee, you're also reaching up into the sky. Maybe even look up at your hand and then float that right arm out behind you. It's going to take some lift from the pelvic floor, a little support from underneath to be able to lift and reach. And then return to warrior two. And then straighten your front leg so you can go to triangle. Oh, I hear a snapper. I'm a snapper too. My daughter makes fun of me all the time. Mom, right? Tailbone down, open the chest. Enjoy the triangle pose. See if you can find some alignment here where your hips come a little forward and you're not afraid to let your chest open, your head go back. Yeah, feel it. It's so sweet. And then right palm turns forward. Reach the bicep over the ear. As you reach, ground through the right foot. That's it. Take one last breath. And then arm comes up and return to warrior two. Bend that front knee in the transition. Whoa, sorry, I thought you had it. All right, let's flow it out. Both hands go down. Step back lightly and lower slowly. Keep your hands pressing as you move gently into cobra pose. And then exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. All right. Let's please walk our hands back to our feet one more time. This time turn the toes out and take a nice deep squat at the back of the mat. So the feet should be wide here. See if you can go wide and get your feet flat. Hands to heart. Elbows are inside the knees and the knees squeeze. That's it. The elbows push, the knees squeeze, and then right there, I want you to all lift your hips about an inch or two and just feel that. Where did that come from? That action, remember this action. This is really, really important. And then put it down. Notice how heavy you are. Right? Let's do it again. Lift and lower. One more time. Lift. See if it's sustainable. Hold. And then take your arms and reach up over your head. I know that's not fun. Just hold it for one more breath and then let yourself sink back down. Good. Release your hands to the floor, straighten your legs, and release. All right. I love that you're at the back of the mat. So we're going to squat down one more time. Go ahead, squat down one more time, and this time put your hands on the floor in front of you. You'll feel like your shoulders are inside your knees now instead of your elbows. And then I want you to rock a little forward. Yep. Some of you already know where we're going. We're going into Bakasana. So you're going to rock forward. And all I want you to do is lift one leg, right? We've been doing it throughout the practice. Lifting one and keeping it active. And then lifting the other, keeping it active. You might even be able to touch your toes together behind you. You got it. Saw that, Samara. Eyes forward, toes squeezing. Yep. Try one foot, try the other foot. Don't try to jump them. you'll face plant. And there's cement under your mat, most of you, right? So this is about lifting and activating. We've got this. So many people flying. So many people trying. That's it. And then when you're done with that, put your feet back down and come into a forward fold. Tighten it. Oh, good. All right, inhale, look up and lengthen. Let's walk it out into plank pose. It's going to feel really good to straighten out the hips. Draw your tailbone down. That's it. Draw the chest forward. Let's all breathe in together. And then exhale as we lower. Inhale into cobra pose. And then exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. All right. Right foot steps up. Take it all the way to the top of the mat, and then step the left foot up one step to create a shorter stance. I want both feet flat and hands coming to the hips. Right there, as you take your back nice and flat, see if you can straighten both legs, and then get curious. What happens if you lean a little more into your front leg? What happens if you lean into your back leg? Keep your feet grounded as you do that, and just see if you can find the place where your hips get a little more level, a little more square. Both legs are straight. Let's try to straighten that front knee. And then with a flat back, just like we've been doing since the beginning of practice, you're just going to come up nice and slow. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Which do we have forward, right? Okay, so keep that left arm reaching high. Put the right hand back on your hip and then fold halfway here. See if you can keep those hips square. Now actually move your right hand onto your sacrum, onto your lower back. See if you can stay aware of that lower back staying flat. And then place your left hand on your right shin. Take a beautiful twist from there. Twisting open to the right. Once you feel like you have a good solid foundation, you can express more fully by lifting the right arm up to the sky. That's it. Make sure you're breathing. And just remember the impressions made earlier in class when we were bringing that left shoulder, those left ribs under and the right chest open. Enjoy one more breath here. And then the eyes come down, the hands come down. Let's go ahead and walk our hands slightly forward. Slightly forward. And then float your left leg up into the air. It's a standing split. And that looks different on everybody. So just imagine in your own body, what does that standing split feel like? Left leg is lifting. Keep the left leg active. Doesn't matter how high the leg goes. It matters your attitude, your breath. Now, keep that left leg in the air and start softening your right knee. I want you to tuck your left knee behind your right ankle and have a seat. Take the left knee behind the right ankle and have a seat. That should feel pretty good, right? Yep. We're going to simply sit up tall and then twist to the left side. Try to keep both sit bones on the ground. Oh, I think I said it wrong. I said it wrong because I did the wrong leg. Twist to the other side. Yep. Breathe. I see some of you with that right hip off the floor. See if you can get that right hip down. Right hip down. Think about it. Sit in it. Don't worry about the twist until you get your foundation. Pull the belly in a little bit. Pull it gently up and in and see if you can twist just a little bit more. I really love what I see. Let's release the twist and face forward. Extend both legs out for boat pose. Your feet can stay on the ground or feel free to lift them. Arms reaching forward. Something's a little familiar, something's new. ready for anything. Right here on your mat. Just allowing the possibility. Maybe you're going to feel a little stronger today. Take one more breath. From here, I'd like you to cross your ankles and kind of pull your feet back near your hips so you can get your hands forward and take a vinyasa. You can step it back, jump it back, and then take your flow. Nothing to kill or die for. Make your way to downward facing dog. And no religion too. Press through the hands, lift your hips, activate your legs. Make this the best down dog you've done through the whole practice. Remember where we started that. I know we went to a standing split. Where were we before standing split? Huh? Oh, pyramid, twisting triangle. It was a whole section I thought we did already. All right, left foot steps up, right foot takes a little step up, right? We got to shorten our stance. It was a long sequence. Bring your hands up onto your hips. Remember, a flat back. We got to build the foundation. We're going to feel our feet on the ground. Shift your weight around a little bit till you can feel your hips become a little more even, steady, balanced. That's it. Now right arm. No, come forward, come lift all the way up to the sky. That's where we started. I want to make sure that you have that foundation solid. We've got left leg forward. All right. Right side body stays long. Left hand goes to the hip, and then we fold here. Left hand goes onto the sacrum. Left hand on the sacrum. Keep it level as the right hand goes to left shin. Here's where you discover that beautiful twist. And it's an interesting thing, this twist, because you're challenged in many ways. Ground your feet, squeeze a little on the outer hips, create your foundation, and then get the fullest expression out of the rib cage. Push through the feet. One last breath. And then the eyes go down, the hand comes down. Let's soften the front knee, walk the hands forward. Here's the standing split. Right leg floats up behind you, and you can make it look any way you want to. Maybe both legs are super straight, maybe they're a little softer. Let your head down, use your hands on the ground. Keep your balance. We're going to make a nice, slow, steady transition. So keep the right leg in the air, soften your left knee, and then when you're ready, you're going to tuck your right knee behind your left ankle and have a seat. There we go. We try to do that with grace. Some more graceful than others, and I feel like that's the beauty of this practice. All right, so both sit bones on the ground. You know we're twisting left, but I don't want you to get too wrapped up in the twist until you feel your ground. Your feet are on the ground, your sit bones are both on the ground, and then we twist to the left side. Check in. Let's put the left hand behind us. See if we can sit up a little taller. Lift the crown, lift the chest. Make sure that spine feels tall. Are you breathing? Are you breathing? Just for one more breath. See if you can get your midsection to turn just a tiny bit more. And then release and face forward. Both legs come out. Boat pose. Feet can stay on the ground. Knees can be bent or straight. Boat pose is a balancing on the space between the sit bones and the tailbone. Arms reach forward. There are so many different variations here. Express it your way. Make sure your spine feels straight and supported. If you're sinking into your lower back, bend your knees. Keep lifting from the chest. I love it. You guys are amazing. Take one more breath here. And then simply bend your knees, put your feet down. And and think for a moment. Do I want to just stay right here in my seat, or am I going to do one more last vinyasa? What do you want to do? Do you need movement or do you need stillness? It's totally up to you. Don't be influenced. Make your own decision. And as you complete that vinyasa in down dog, you will come right back to your seat and join everyone. All right. Comfortable seated position. All right. Find that comfortable seat. Close your eyes. Find your breath. And so here we sit at the top of the mat. It's like coming home. Just allow that breath to move through you and allow yourself to just be in the stillness for a moment. Can you lift your heart, broaden your chest, hold your head up high. Just meet yourself exactly where you are. Remember all the moments that you met the challenge, that you were open to anything new. There were lots of familiar things, but so many things you maybe never saw before or never did before. And somehow here you sit and you're fine. Yoga takes us on a journey every time we step on the mat. It's important that we're paying attention, that we're allowing the process, trusting the process.
It's coming on Christmas, they're cutting down trees.
Now when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. You can unfold your legs and just make your way down onto your back.
I could skate away on.
Just do a couple of things before we come into that final resting pose. So as you lay yourself out, just give yourself that moment. And we're going to extend the legs all the way down the mat. Take the arms all the way up over the head and just give yourself a really good stretch, like one that just makes you feel awakened, not ready for bed. So arms are up overhead and you're stretching and reaching through your fingers and your toes. Your spine might even lift off the mat a little bit. Make it feel so good. And then start to draw your right knee into your belly. Grab it with your hands. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders and push your lower back down into the floor. That's it. Now keep the head, neck, and shoulders lifted. Start looking at your left foot. Start to flex both of your feet and then lift your left heel off the floor about an inch. You got this. Now take that look off your face and start to extend and reach your arms forward. It's so funny. I mean, we're working hard, but we're not working that hard, and we're just making this face like it is the most awful thing that's happening, right? Like something smells bad or tastes bad or something. I don't know, but this is amazing. Like, feel the integration of your body. Feel how strong you are. This body that we live in is amazing. Let's keep it supple and young and functional and supported. And then grab that right knee, lay your head back down, relax your left foot to the ground, and take a spinal twist over to the left side. Ring it out. Find some softness. Go ahead and take one of those deep cleansing breaths. Let that breath move through you completely. And then roll yourself back to center and extend that right leg all the way down. Stretch your arms up over your head and just really enjoy your body for a moment. Reach through your fingers and your toes. Maybe lift your back just a little bit. I like to stretch the right side a little more and then the left side a little more. Feel my hips move down and my shoulders move up, and just wiggle a little until it feels so good. And then as your arms come down, the left knee is going to draw into the belly. Give it a good squeeze. Start to lift your head, neck, and shoulders. That's it. Start to look forward. Look all the way down towards your right foot, and then start flexing both of your feet. Right heel is going to lift an inch or two. And then your faces look much better on this side. Extend your arms forward. Be in your body. Be amazed by what you're capable of. You might even be able to lift your left knee closer to your chest and your chest closer to your knee. You might even be able to shrink the space between your hips and your ribs, just kind of shrink it all down. It's pretty amazing what we can do. And all that muscle is supporting the spine every day. Give it a chance to tone and strengthen. Breathe. And then you can lay your head down, grab a hold of that left leg, put your right foot back on the mat, and take your twist over to the right side. Keep moving the breath through your body. Let the breath be the thing that eases out the tension. It's like that last chance to just wring it out. Now when you're ready, please roll back to the center. Pull both knees right up into your belly. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders and extend and reach your arms forward. See if you can shrink that space between your rib cage and your hip bones. Both knees in. Flex your feet. What else do you have access to? What else can you use? The belly button is drawing down and in. You're making yourself so small, tiny, tight, strong. So good. Take one more breath here. And then let it all go. Head down, feet down, arms down. Face soft, lips soft, right? Release your legs all the way down the mat. Just feel your heart rate start to soften and slow down. slowly. Maybe the first movement is simply a breath. And maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Follow your intuition. You know the way. I want you to find your way to a seated position. You can take your time. There's no reason to jump up out of the stillness. And once you find your seat, just notice yourself. Notice, how are you sitting? How do you feel? My guess is that you feel a little different than when we started. I hope that's a good thing. So interesting, as we step to the top of the mat and we feel ready. Did you realize that you were getting ready for this? All that movement, all that breath, all that listening to instructions and trying so hard to do all the movements, all just to bring you to this. This space that is so simple, but so profound. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. And together we'll close our practice with that beautiful and sacred sound of Om. So I want you to fill your lungs really, really big and then join me in that sound. Are you ready? Okay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. May each and every one of us that steps onto this mat find this place of peace. May we come to practice so often that when we need it the most, in our everyday life, in the ordinary things that we do every day, if we just simply find our feet on the ground and take a deep breath in, could we find this? Could it be so beautifully and deeply embedded in us that we actually know that this peace lives in us all the time? Life is such that we need to be able to find the peace within. May this practice always be our source for knowing that it lives within us. And if each of us, look at how many of us sit here today, if each of us knows and recognizes somehow that it lives in us, then we have to know that it lives in everyone else too. Remember. That is what yoga is asking us to do, is remember. Remember our own true nature. Remember that that exists in all other beings. We never know what lies before us. So much of our lives familiar. Every day, let's step up to it, remembering that this exists within us. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for your openness, your willingness, your generosity, your love, your support, for all that you bring every day to be part of this beautiful community. I thank you. Namaste. 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 That means I see you. I see you. I feel you. There's a part of me. If I know that there's some part of me, if I know myself, then I have to know a part of you. That is humanity. Please don't forget. We have got to take care of each other. I have always information for you. I have passes for my studio if you want to practice more, if you want to be on the Saturday practice, if you want to start to delve into a practice at the studio, come and get a pass or share a pass with a friend. I would love to invite you to come. My studio is in the Wyndham Hotel in Boca Raton, which is on Glades, right by 95. You can get to it by Military and 19th. It's the home of Farmer's Table, Trend Tea, and Mezzofit. So if you would like to join us there, please come see me. I have schedules and passes. I also have an email list if anybody would like to get information. We also do this streaming all over the world if you'd like to know how to log in or invite friends from other parts of the country or other parts of this globe to tune in with us. Come and see me. I can give you that information. And I have teacher training coming up. We are going to begin on February 6th. If anyone is interested in pursuing an education in yoga for yourself, it's a 200-hour course. It will prepare you to teach, but not everyone who does the class actually wants to go out and teach. It's a great way to get a deeper understanding and deepen your own practice, or if you want to step out into the world and share this yoga, you'll be prepared either way. So come and see me. We also have an event coming up in the community. It's not happening at my studio. It will be happening in Carl Springs Gymnasium. It is called Yoga for Life. It is a fundraiser promoting mindfulness meditation and community healing. All of the recipients are related to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, Making Schools Safe, Yoga for MSD, LifeNet for Families. All of the recipients of the donations that will happen that day are all around supporting the families in Carl Springs. So January 26th from 4 to 7 p.m., please come and see me if you're interested in information about that and you would like to attend. I have flyers here for that as well. Always trying to support what's happening in the community, not just what's happening at my studio. We live in a vibrant, beautiful yoga community, and there is so much happening, so many people doing so much good. Take advantage of all of it, experience all of it. Yeah, that's it. Mic off. Happy Saturday.